Hi Peter, nice to meet you. How was entering in the Game of Thrones universe? Were you a fan of the original show?
Yeah, I was a huge fan of the original TV show, so it was a double-edged sword. It was a huge honor, and I was so proud to do it and so appreciative to come into the world of Westeros. But it was still so scary and so daunting, and not just to be a part of the world of Westeros, but to lead the show. And I'd never led a show in my life, and feel like I have to, do so much justice to a very beloved character from a very beloved book. It was terrifying, and I feel like we've done a good job, and George seems to be incredibly pleased. So I hope the rest of the world, and especially the lovers of the novellas, will appreciate it.
Your character, Sir Duncan, is a very stoic, nice person, which is quite uncommon in Westeros.
I think we'll never not need more people like Dunk. I think we've always needed people like that. And I think the greatest things in history have happened and sports history and everything have happened because of courageous people who live by decent values. And yeah, we'll always need people like Dunk, and I think everybody can be somebody like Sir Duncan the Tall. You don't have to be in a trial of the seven or a melee with a sword to conduct yourself and be kind to people. Conduct yourself in the right way and be kind to people. So, yeah, I'm sure everybody can be like Sir Duncan the Tall, for sure.
Thank you.
I mean, well, entering this universe is an incredible honor. How lucky I feel to be a part of a group of actors that get to be in a real life Westeros. It's like incredible. So yeah, hugely excited when I found out I got the role. I actually had never seen the show before I auditioned for it, and I watched a couple episodes to prepare for my audition, not knowing that tonally we're going to be in a different kind of zone. But I've started catching up now, and I've started House of Dragon, I've started Game of Thrones, but I'm not all the way through yet. So people are making references I don't understand.
I was a great fan of the show. I watched the first series, and then I went out and bought all the books and tore through them, and loved the richness of the world that George R.R. Martin creates. And I find it very recognizable, and I suppose the kind of tone of cynicism that goes through it is unfortunately feels all too real. But it was nice to come and make this story, which shows us that even in such a cynical world, there is still a space for heroism and goodness and honor. And I think that's a story that's worth telling in 2026, don't you? I wouldn't like to say that would give away the drama. I think the key about drama is that you don't know what's going to happen before until after, as my granny used to say. Suspense is key. None of the characters know how they will behave from one moment to the next, and that's what gives it a moral dimension as well. People can choose other than as they do. They're not defined by their family or their circumstance. They're defined by their choices, and I think that's why these stories have a power to find out how are these people going to behave. So you have to watch to the end to find out.
I was neither a fan nor not a fan. I hadn't seen any of it. I was completely aware of it, and everybody was constantly telling me I needed to see this show and that I would love it. And I was like, yeah, I don't know, whatever. And I was offered this role and was honored to be offered it, and specifically this part too. Like, I really trusted Ira, trusted the writing, and I have, since making the show, I've seen Game of Thrones, and now such a big fan, I'm really glad that I hadn't seen it before, or I would have shit myself and never been able to do it. What can people expect from my character? They can expect the unexpected. He is, it's difficult to pin down initially whether he's friend or foe, but he's definitely a lot of fun.
It was good. It was a tremendous amount of pressure, I think. Not in the least just because of the fantastic array of talent that's come before in both series, both The House of Dragon and Game of Thrones, but also once you get cast to be able to do something original. I think that's a lot of pressure, and it was a great honor stepping into it.
What was your favorite character of the original of Game of Thrones?
Tyrion. Yeah, Tyrion. Also, but I really like Tyrion, Jaime, and I like all the Lannisters. I think they all go on really beautifully sculpted arcs, and something really profound happens to their characters, and yeah, I think that's really special.
Well, I hadn't seen it before I got off the part, and so but that didn't matter to me. I knew I knew what yeah.
It's only because he knew I was right next to him. Don't let me put you off, by the way, please. Please.
He's going to be my squire in the next season.
That's because he's deeply unserious about battle. That's the only possible reason he could pick me.
I mean, I knew what a fan base it had. I knew that it was a kind of fantastic thing to be a part of. I knew how much everyone loved it. I've also done a lot of independent film work, which I'm really proud of, but it has quite a small audience. So the chance to be part of such a kind of big audience, such a big conversation, really excites me as an actor, and yeah, I'm excited to see what everyone thinks of it.
Yeah, what should the audience expect from this show and your character?
Yeah, I mean, they can expect a lot of the same things that the other worlds, but also a kind of real kind of personal journey for Dunk, and an exploration of what it is to be good and what it is to be confronted with the less good, and how you make your way in the world. For my character, I mean, the same ruthless streak that we associate with Targaryens, but also a kind of exploration of what it is to be a terrible dad and a jealous brother.
It was mind-blowing. It was beyond my wildest dreams. I never thought I would, be an actor, never mind take part and get involved in Westeros. So yeah, I feel very lucky and very blessed to gotten the chance to take part.
Favorite characters of Game of Thrones?
Favorite characters? I like Arya Stark, Jon Snow. I love Tyrion. Yeah, Brienne of Tarth. Yeah, loads.
What should the audience expect from this series and your character?
You should expect the unexpected. It's full of humour, hope, chivalry. Expect everything.
The audience should expect what they've come to expect from Game of Thrones. It might take us a second to get there, but the truth is we're a little simpler, a little more narrowly focused. We have one POV character, and he's an underdog, but he doesn't have George's normal underdog wit and cleverness. He's honorable, and he's earnest, and he's a little hopeful, maybe in a foolish way, but he's just a silly kid with a dream. He wants to go out, he wants to be a knight, but he just doesn't quite have that he doesn't have the skill to accomplish this, and I think that hopefully that will resonate with a lot of people who go out and try something hard, and it takes a little while before they can get what they want.
Let's talk shortly about the theme song, which is not in the series. Why?
So the theme song makes a couple appearances. We don't use it as the opening credits. The biggest reason is that this show should be a reflection of its main characters. And we have one main character, and that's Sir Duncan the Tall, and he's a simple, grounded, gritty, sort of the earth human being. This big, sprawling, epic, orchestral theme didn't quite make sense for who he is as a person right now, and so we went with something simpler and stripped down. But when he hears the hero music in his head, that's the theme. That's the theme in episode 1. That's the call to greatness. He's just not great yet.
Thank you.